Yeah, in the bottom left side. Yeah, sorry. I'll start over. In the bottom left side, that is a blue Protoss for the Dragon Phoenix gamers. It is Zest. Top right side, a red Terran. Oh my, we're messing up a lot right now. A red Terran in the top right side. He is the one and only Kaizi Gaming. Time. Only non-Korean in the group for the time being. For this little Brawlers club today. Still from a similar region, but totally different at the same time as well. Just a little bit closer in proximity to one another than for, let's say, a EU or NA player. There's still a difference right there. To be fair though, Time most likely only plays on the Korean ladder for practice anyway, right? I would imagine it's just going to be higher quality practice for him available there. Playing ladder and stuff like that, or even with some good practice partners, right? I mean, he is on Team Kaizi. Kaizi has other great players such as Solar and such, right? They do have good practice partners that he could try and turn towards. Time, desperate to keep this probe out. He is going for a double refinery play here. It could be a very quick Widow Mine drop. And Zest, of course, he can't really get his eyes on it. But that must be in the back of his mind. So he did go for a quicker cybernetic score already. A little bit of safety there. Going for the cyber call over the Nexus first. Which is something we see Zest do a lot. So that is him being a bit extra careful here. After being denied the scout. As the Stargate. Nothing more Protoss-esque than a good old Stargate. Oh. And yeah, forces those, well, one of the Reapers away. There is another one. Just barely not touching that watchtower there, unfortunately, but he's ready to do so at any moment in time. We know this intent. We know he's got the spirit to do it. Make it happen. There's more Widow Mines coming out. Could be good against an Oracle, of course. Why no camera? Because when I woke up, it was 6:40 AM, and my green screen wasn't set up, so it's about between 4 and 6 hours earlier than I would wake up normally. So my face is just like I'm just death staring the monitor right now. Trying to stay alive, pretty much. Which is something Time isn't really being successful at for the time being. But then again, he might be able to get some damage done here. How many units do we have available? Adepts, Oracle. It's looking rough. It is looking rough. Oh, but these probes getting a bit uppity. The uppity probes. Oh, it's the Oracle that goes down. Not a single probe. It's amazing how not a single probe went down there. We won game number 1. Isn't this game number 1? Am I crazy? Did I already forget about a game between these two? I don't think I did. Alright. I think Zest just won game number 1 though, to be fair. That might be a fair answer. Kind of the answer we all anticipate as well, seeing how absolutely fantastic Zest is right now. I mean, it's just nuts. It's just absolutely nuts. It's ridiculous. In all honesty, it's ridiculous how good Zest has gotten. Does get pushed backwards here. But I think that's okay. He's got 46 workers versus 28. Army supply pretty similar too. He's got a third base coming up. He is swimming right now. He is swimming. Time is splattering around in the kiddie pool right now, it feels like. He's not having a great time. Struggling to keep his head above water. And yeah. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You went for a very quick Widow Mine drop off of the one base with double gas, right? And then you kill one probe and you lose this. You lose this. Look at all of this. It's too much to name. I'm not gonna name all of this. Even though I have the time to do so, I'm too lazy to do so, alright? That's a lot of stuff. Just look at the scoreboard for a moment. If you haven't already, I'm taking it away. You're too late now. You can trust me that it was quite a bit. Vikings trying to get the one-shots on the probes here. That is... You know what? Killing 5 workers overall keeps 1 Viking alive. Yeah. You gotta do something. That's for sure. Ooh, trying to bring that other Viking around, but can't quite manage. That would have been pretty cool to see, the other Viking joining in as well, and then being able to start one-shotting once more. But wasn't meant to be. Just wasn't meant to be. This Viking over here comes back around. It's going to be a while before the shield battery is empty. And a single Stalker is going to be able to be warped in here and just shut it down. Yeah, nothing achieved there either, unfortunately. Third base fort time. Now an orbital as well. It's going to be able to start up that 3 SCV production. On the other side, Zest third base already fully saturated. So is his natural, so is his main. It's looking pretty smooth for the Protoss boy. Income advantage heavily in his favor. Who won time versus Gumiho? That was actually Gumiho. Gumiho won that one in the end. It was a close series though. 2-3. A lot of weird stuff happened though, to be fair. Like, a lot of weird, crazy stuff. But moving things along, Starkers trying to barge down the third base. Avoid mining from that location. But a fairly well set up siege tank line over here, making it difficult to push into. The observer, luckily for Zest, was fully aware of all of that. So none of those Starkers were running in there. Storm and Charge. Both completing right about now. So we have 6 Zealots over here. A single High Templar. Another one being warped in, which isn't over here. That was a good guess. Oh no, it's over here. Look at that. It's even closer by. Where did these SCVs die? Oh, I see. There was a Warp Prism. I'm sorry. It's early morning once again. That's where the High Templar were. So a couple of Storm drops on the SCVs. Kills 8 SCVs. What was the score for it was 2-3. Time versus Gumiho was 2-3. In favor for Gumiho. Here we are, another attempt to High Templar with a bit of energy here. Not the greatest storms overall, but doesn't really need the greatest storms at this moment in time. Barreling through, still the Starkers struggling with the supply depot setup right now. And the Zealots a little bit busy with chopping up SCVs rather than the siege tanks and the Marines. Which might mean that... No, well, I'm not... Nah, this is not going to get pushed backwards anymore. It's only a single siege tank. GG is called. Bottom right side, the man with 1 point on the board, the blue safety Protoss. It is Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Zest. Top left side, red Terran player fighting for the KZ Gamers. It is time. What's the score of Armani versus Zest? I think that was 3-1 in favor for Zest. I'm pretty sure it was. If it was worse than that, I'd be surprised if it was 3-2. 3-0 I could see. 3-1 I can see. 3-2 versus Zest right now. That'd be a miracle. This man, he just doesn't get... He doesn't lose anymore. Right now, he is just an absolute beast. He's one of the biggest Brawlers champions we've had for a while. It's nuts. He's just winning. That's all he's doing right now. So much momentum. I wonder, you know. Is it because of the military service coming up? Is it him, you know, putting in a little bit of extra efforts here and there every time in his back of his mind being like, you know what, military service coming up. I may not have a chance to come back to StarCraft 2 as some other players have done in a year or something, right? Who knows what's going to happen to our scene in that moment in time, maybe. Maybe another game comes out, maybe something else takes over more of the RTS. Maybe the tournaments have trouble maintaining itself. Who knows? Who knows? So, it would definitely motivate me as much as possible to try and make the absolute best I can out of this period in time where you're still going before you have to let go of your career as a pro gamer. Look at that. Is that a tiger? Is there a tiger dog? Is there a tiger dogs on this map? Alright, so as I was saying, yeah, it's an important period of time for Zest. Wants to make the best out of it. Nice little pick off there on the SCV. Apparently there were already 3 SCVs down here, so... Looks like there's not much of a delay in either of those constructions. In either of the projects being worked on. Being developed. Ooh, we're gonna get the Stalker recalling here, realizing those Reapers aren't around. And there they are, already being blindsided now by that Adapt and the Stalker both together. Wonderful timing here for Mr. Zest. Gets one of the Reapers as well. Now on the other side, this little Adept most likely gonna tap out there also. Yeah, it is. Finds itself another Reaper. Look at that. Can he get it? He might be able to. No, he should be able to get up the ramp. There we are. Well, I say ramp. The little jumpity gypsy, hoppity hap. The hoppity haps right there. Hippity hoppity. Reaper Cottontail. Hopping down the bunny trail. Oracle doesn't get anything done either, though, to be fair. Take a look at the units lost tab. Yeah, you know. That's fair. That should be okay. That should be okay. It's gonna be a moment before we have any real aggression coming out of time. Although this has been pretty interesting actually. He's gone for the 2 racks with a stim and then also a very quick +1 attack. So I'm imagining this is gonna be a big double medevac drop with Marines. Trying to make a, well, quite a dent in the probe numbers here. I would imagine this secondary Reaper goes down as well. That is a shame. No more scouting information available for our red Terran that way. Zest, on the other hand, he's got himself that Oracle still remaining, of course. Can poke in and out sometimes. He's building a lot of shield batteries. Let's see actually what he knows about the main base of time. Not that much. Now flying in. Sees a good chunk of the Marine numbers, so he's aware that is happening. And he sees the 3rd base flying across as well. That's gonna make him make his move. Make him make his move. make him want to make a move. Yes, there we go. So a lot of sentries. It's a whole lot of sentries. He could just infinitely block off this big ramp area here if he really wants to. Does he want to? I'm not sure what he wants to. I think he's just waiting for the Marines to commit here with like a stim or something. Or, you know what? That's a good opportunity. Zippity zappity. A lot of Marines just going down. That's the power of sentries, man. They do be doing crazy stuff. Time didn't wait for his medevacs to be there, so couldn't save all of those Marines. Doesn't have combat shield either, just quite yet. And now, well, still heading out with the double medevac drop. Even though this Stalker force is on his front door. And he barely has anything to hold on here. Yes, if he's coming out again a little bit too excited to go back to work. It's like opening up the doors from quarantine when we're not quite ready yet and everyone suddenly starts dying again and, well... I don't think this is gonna work for time. I could be wrong. That's a pretty good Widowmine hit there. Once to get on top of that production, I would say, just target down the supply depot, or the, the supply pylons. That's one. Yep. Shutting most of it down. We have 8 gateways in total. Where's the other ones? So 3 gateways worth of production still available. Time lost most of every bit of mining he's got. Except for the main base. It'd be quite nice if he does manage to break these 2 pylons here again. Don't think that he will, but he kills off a Nexus instead. Gets a Oracle. No, doesn't quite get the Oracle. More pylons in the main base. Being reset up. Most likely gonna remain there. I don't think the medevacs can really escape anymore. The Blinkstalkers got too close. Oh, that was so close. Oh my, that was so close. Look at that. 14 HP remaining on that little medevac right there. Absolutely filled to the brim with Marines and Marauders. Okay. Okay, now we're in an awkward position here for Zest. He's got 2 shield batteries here, but his army supply not that great, especially if he didn't meet this army from the opposite side of the map already, so he can kite backwards. Still has a reasonable amount of sentry energy, but that is gone now as well. And those medevacs there are ready to help evacuate in case it was absolutely necessary. Stalkers once more. Oh, that is not great. Okay, no more blinks available for a moment. Shield battery overcharge. Is that going to be enough? Great target fire though from Zest. You have to give it to him. The man is a micro machine. Neil's on. Wow, kills off a medevac on its way back home again as well. This is 51 army supply versus 22. And Zest is holding on somehow, some way, with just pure blink stalkers versus bio. This should have ended a while back, I feel like, but yet again, Zest is here. And is this the final bit of micro you can achieve? It looks like it is. GG is called time once more, tying up the series. Well, he didn't tie it up the previous time. That was Gumiho, but he's once again in a tied up series. So there we go. In the top right side, the blue Protoss. Fighting for a dragon, a phoenix, and a gamer. Somewhere in the world, there are 3 of them combined together as a big Omegatron, and it is Zest. Bottom left side, a red Terran, fighting for the Kais and the Z's. He is time. What's up, Oscar? How you doing, buddy? Good morning. Good morning. First mistake was realizing Time's army was missing and had no recall energy. Then only recalled 1 Stalker. Did he only recall 1 Stalker? I don't think he only recalled one Stalker. I think the Stalkers were recalled to the other base. Because that was still a good group of Stalkers that were there. Unless if he just walked them back across the map, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe please Oppa is telling me hard facts over here. He's spitting hard truths and I'm just, you know, trying to rub sleepy sand out of my eyes still. Only recalled one Stalker and had to walk back all the other Stalkers after he lost the second Nexus. Yeah, alright. That is rough. That is rough. Maybe it wasn't a mistake though, right? I mean, could it be that he was trying to trick Time into believing he was recalling his entire army without actually recalling his entire army, right? People do that sometimes. It's like that mind game where you're like, oh, you better run off now, you better get away, because the big Protoss army's coming in, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, right, sometimes that works, sometimes that works. This situation, it didn't. Was it a mistake? Well, it didn't work, so I guess we could call it a mistake on that department, but I'm not entirely sure if it was, like, something that he didn't intend to happen, if that makes sense. Yeah. It was a rough game to get himself out of anyway. It's just really that part of the game where the Terran gets that army lead, usually, and Time just utilizing it in a pretty decisive fashion right there. I thought he was mental going across the map with the two medevacs, even though the Stalkers are like right there. Right? I thought you're just gonna lose everything now. These Stalkers are just gonna run in, trample over all your stuff, recall, yeah, and then be done with it. He would have had, let's think about this, right? He would have had the gateways in his main base, probably would have been repowered for a longer period, well, for a quicker period of time. He would have had mining on his natural base, so yeah, you know what? Probably was a death sentence. It would have had the gateways rebuilt, you know, ready for production in his main base a lot quicker. He would have had the 2 extra gateways in his natural base. Yeah. This game around, do we already have Blink? Yes, we do. Okay. When will you report it to Liquipedia? Normally there's Liquipedia folk watching my stream, but I guess it's just at a time where they don't show up. This is trouble. This is trouble. Trouble in Time Town. It's a bit of trouble in Time Town. He's got a medevac with 2 Widow Mines that managed to get a couple of probes. But this is kind of the problem here. That's a lot of Stalkers. How many gateways is this? It's only 4. This is only 4 gateway worth of Stalkers. If you went up to like 6 or 8, imagine the carnage. Imagine the bloodshed that would have happened right here, right now. But instead, Time is still dead. 33 workers. Widowmine gets 9 workers, which in any, reasonable play would be absolutely fantastic. But considering he just lost 33 of his own, it's not. And he's going to lose that medevac. Whoosh. Whoosh. Alright, well. A quick way to regain the lead here, I suppose, for Zest. Unless if we see another 2 medevac drop doing miracle work. Oh, more SCVs go down. Zest, well, it's got a bit of that Zest bank. With this build, you kind of anticipate to still make the expansion behind it as well. A good bit of harassment, but you get a good bit of harassment, but you still plan to make that 3rd base behind this also. In the top right side, we have ourselves a blue Protoss. He's fighting for the Dragon, the Phoenix, and the Gamers. He is Zest. Bottom left side, the red Terran resides. He is fighting for the KZ Gamers. It is time. He's also in the middle of the map here. He's got himself a little proxy barracks. A little proxy barracks, trying to be a little bit pretty. With a barracks in the middle of the map. And some Reaper harassment, we would assume. There's a double gas coming in as well. Should be a quick factory follow-up. After this game, we'll have, of course, Gumiho still going up against Zest as well. So we'll get to see Gumiho beating time in the TVT. Will he be able to get a better series going here versus Zest as well? Of course, this series right now versus time ain't done yet, but seeing how convincing that previous game was, I'm already quite worried. I'm already quite worried. This little Reaper harassment though with the bunker at the forefront, you don't get to see this all too often. Stalker is going to be ready, but it's not that terrifying, right? You got the shield battery coming up, the pylon isn't going to go down. There is a second Reaper coming in, but nice SCV micro. Very nice SCV micro. Time on top of it for now, for the time being. Ooh, doesn't quite manage there in the second Stalker. Yeah, that's just the end of this, right? Yeah. I believe we had a first map victory for Zest, then a second map victory for Time, and then a victory for Zest again. You've seen this 100 times, just if his micro is on point. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that much micro involved, is it? It's just like, get the shield battery in time and make sure you're building Stalkers. Well, gets one of the Reapers as well. Howie an incredibly low HP also. Pretty much done so for this early game harassment from Time. Not much being achieved either. Gonna have to hope if these the Widowmines managed to get anything done. Maybe that is going to be his ticket forwards. What is he doing over here? What's the plan, my man? What's the plan, Mr. Medevac man? I'm not quite sure. 3 barracks. He forgot the mines. Did he forget the mines? I'm confused. Maybe he's just scouting. Right? He saw the Stargate already. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's just mind gaming, right? He's just like, oh, you better be careful. Oh, I got the Widow Mines right here. And then, you know, he's like, oh, so the Widow Mines are on my side. Let me fly my Oracle in for free. And then, haha, surprise, right? I think that's the plan here. I hope it is. That's the best I could come up with, alright? Just the scout. Well, he did see the Twilight. There we go. Now brings the Widow Mines. Imagine if he actually just forgot the Widow Mines. He's just like, oh, wait a moment. Did I lose them along the way? Alright. 3 gateway assault this time around, but Blink once again ready, and a scary looking amount of Stalkers here. They got themselves an Oracle to boot. Widow Mines aren't here, some siege tanks are. Wanna try to get those in siege mode, the bunker ain't ready yet. This could be a good moment for Zest to try and make something happen. Let's get punished a little bit. 15 workers. Widow Mines strike true. If anything, this is probably the best moment so far for time we've seen him in this best of 5 series. 15 workers right there. That is a incredible amount of kills. Viking gonna land as well. It's not gonna get anything done though, right? It shouldn't. Hey, it gets a probe. More than I thought it would. Ooh, medevac. That's gonna die. That is gonna die. That's a shame, but it's done its work. It's done its job. Paid for itself. What's the follow-up here? What's the follow-up? Just a big old timing, right? Still getting extra gas, assuming we're gonna see a 3rd base because of this. We'll have to wait and see. Stalker's still coming across the map with 6 extra gateways being added in. Gonna bring us up to 9 gateways right here. 7 gateways. Wow, he's going up to 10. Yeah, alright. Zest wants to finish this. Makes sense to me. He's gonna find an absolutely gorgeous opportunity here to take out 2 siege tanks perhaps. No, gets one of them. But doesn't lose any Stalkers so far in the process. One of them, ooh, okay, might lose a couple. No, just loses 1 Stalker. That is fine. That is fine. That is such a good pickoff right there. He's buying himself a lot of time here. A lot of time's attention. Divvying up those units. And there we go. Okay, the SCV's being pulled as well. The Stalker's in a wonderful position to just make this push so much more difficult than it has to be. Taking out so many of these units as they're marching. Sentries are ready with the force fields. Could buy even more time. There we go. It's not even interested in splitting up the army so far. He just wants to have 1 or 2 extra war pins. As many units as he can muster, because he knows as long as he beats this, he's gonna win this game right here, right now. Still has Stalkers on the other side as well, killing off units. The Zealots having a rough time right now with the SCVs in front, but are starting to dash their way through. Now on top of the Marines, is there still enough here? Stalkers from the backside, target down the siege tanks. And, well, not quite enough just yet, but I think it should be enough damage here so that Zest can snowball this into his court, right? He just needs one more big warp in for the Zealots. That's going to come in pretty soon. The Medevac's starting to run low on energy. The Stalkers, where did the Stalkers run off to? Oh, no Stalkers anymore remaining, actually. I thought there would be a couple more remaining, but... Alright, here we go. Nice pickup on that siege tank. The other siege tank not quite ready yet. Great positioning with the Marines Marauders. Will make it incredibly difficult for the Zealots to be cost efficient. So they just try to get whatever they can. More Zealots in the main base. Still more damage has to be done, of course, here for time if he wants to win this game. Zest still happy with where he's at. Or at least should still be happy with where he is at. Can only be building the Zealots, but... yeah, that is actually a pretty rough thing. Can no longer make Stalkers right now. High Templar Archives is on the way. Now the Cybercore also getting started. But until then, he doesn't really have anything to shoot these Medevacs with. Alright, GG is called, yeah. Well played, well played. That is the series, guys. 3-1, Zest takes the crown.